Welcome back, and in this episode we're going to be analyzing Life is Strange's farmhouse scene. Now, if you haven't played the game and you worry about spoilers, this is definitely the part where you should stop watching and go play it, because the plot starts to come together here. And I haven't mentioned very much about it. All the spoilers I've given have been much more vague, but we're about to discover actual plot. Now, the farmhouse isn't bad, but it does feel like it was put together because they desperately wanted to put more puzzles into this chapter. I think they caught a little bit of flack for the quality of the puzzles in the first two episodes, and so they tried to put good puzzles into the third and fourth episodes. While the puzzle to put together the information was great, the farmhouse is busy work. We're going to go ahead and just push right through. They're establishing now that we are in a nerve-wracking place that's full of secrets about the Prescotts, and they're also mentioning plot. The bomb shelters are plot.
Yes, old Prescott clippings. But that can't be the only thing here.
So there is a lot of stuff that we can look at, and it's a fairly scenic environment. But you know what we really need to do? We need to search dirt.
Just rotting wood.
Really? Is that all that's down there? Rotting wood? Let's keep searching dirt. Dirt. Dirt? This'll pay off someday.
So many haystacks, so few needles.
Well, look at this hook.
Huh. These hooks are used to lift haystacks. I saw them in a Friday the 13th movie.
So we can't search the area we need to search just yet, which implies that there is an order
here.
to the things we're trying to do. Ah, there it is. You just have to search the other three locations first.
Boring. Boring.
Some fun animations there. That almost looks mocap.
Whoa. What is this?
Hmm.
It's totally brand new. Why? No, Supermax. You can't open this with your bare hands.
No more secrets, Sean Prescott.
Okay, Chloe. I found some kind of hatch, but it's locked. I got this. I hope.
Let me know the second you need any help.
So that's really fun and reassuring when you have someone who's ready to assist you at any time. A lot of games these days especially want to highlight the grim and gritty nature of their dark and bitter universes, and an unrelenting storm of grim and grittiness, and that gets really dull. Even in a game which is fairly grim, you need to have moments where the player feels like they are in a place where they have friends and are accepted, and so on and so forth. So
Chloe,
it's good.
can you give me a hand?
All these times that Chloe helps you and assists you and is
Sidekick at your
just
service.
unrepentantly nice, it feels really, really great. And it makes up for a lot of
Huffing away, Supermax.
the darkness that comes in later scenes. Unfortunately, it also causes a lot of the darkness when the scenes get really dark. Chloe isn't there anymore, and it just gets to feel unrelenting and dull, which is kind of a disappointment. But you can't have everything. Now, this puzzle is really clever. In fact, it's so clever that I took about 15 minutes to figure it out. So the question is, what do we do now? Well, here's a rope.
Nope. I can't pull this rope without tearing my flesh off.
What a weird thing to say.
I need to hook this up to something heavier.
Well, what can I hook it up to something heavier? What's heavier? Like hay bales? I can't select them. There's nothing up here that's heavy enough. And I mean, I could hook it up to this, but it's obviously not in the right spot. I can't do anything like that. And I actually got annoyed enough that I shut it down for the evening and came back the next day, at which point I realized that the puzzle was super obvious. Boom. That was a good one. I liked that puzzle. It felt really solid, and it also fooled me.
MacGyver strikes again.
Woohoo! Time to go into the basement. Hey Chloe, you ready to go into a bomb shelter?
Damn, this is heavy.
What is this?
Jackpot.
Spooky. And this is where the game gets weird. Now, I know it sounds strange to say that the game gets weird now, after we've got time-traveling powers and we've seen Chloe in all sorts of weird universes. But I think this was a mistake. This takes the story away from being about Max and Chloe. Now the story is about some kind of weird-ass serial killer that uses bomb shelters. It's a different kind of weird, and it just doesn't feel nearly as good. It's kind of a big misstep, in my opinion. No, it's 452. No, it's 542.
Wrong code.
And that was a 3-digit number that was left on the note, but you can also get it by looking at the worn-out buttons on the keypad, which means that whoever comes in here has been in here enough that they've worn off the keys.
Stocked and ready for the apocalypse. This must have cost a fortune. Come on.
Weird music choice in the background.
Now what the hell is this? Whoa.
Dear Mr.
This says it
Prescott.
all about Nathan.
So this is
needs
apparently Nathan's hidey hole.
Duct tape in a bunker is always a bad sign.
Of course, he's got all sorts of nice printers and stuff, but he's also been taking some weird pictures.
That son of a bitch.
Huh, 1.3 million, huh?
Talk about tortured.
I can't even tell what that one's supposed to be. Bum bum bum. And these are the red files that we've seen at the end of most of our chapters so far. We're trying to figure out what they are.
Come on, let's see what this shit is all about.
We are. Okay. A binder marked Victoria, but it's empty.
Gee,
Look,
that's
the
not
next one says
dangerous
Kate.
at all.
Oh no, Kate. No.
God, I should have killed that bastard back there.
Kate wasn't the first.
So,
those
spoiler
binders
alert, but these pictures are not all by the same person, and it doesn't make very much sense that the pictures from two different artists are just randomly mixed together when the two different artists are a little bit antagonistic. So, I guess I'm not that upset, because to me this serial killer arc is a complete misstep in the first place, but I just... when it's a misstep that also has plot holes, that really makes it fall even flatter.
I don't think so. Why is he putting her in the ground like that? Where?
The junkyard! Max, we have to find that spot now! Then we can see what he did. There's no way she's dead. No way! She posed for those pictures, Max. I know it. Please, let's go.
Oh my god. This picture is framed different. Rachel is away. Rachel is passed out. This shot is so staged. I can't believe it's real. I can't.
Well, let's move on to the most emotional part of the game, aside from the very, very end. So if you're wondering how to build an emotional cutscene, the secret is that you have to really build up to it. You can't just stick it in. A good example is Aerith. When Aerith died in Final Fantasy VII, it was emotional not because the scene was particularly good. In fact, the scene is laughable. It was emotional because of the player's investment in the characters and the mood that had been built. Similarly, this is emotional because we understand the characters involved.
Chloe, stop!
Look. Please, no.
Oh, that smell!
Rachel! No, Rachel, no, please not her!
Chloe.
Rachel, why?
I'm sorry, Chloe. I'm so sorry.
I loved her so much. How can she be dead? What kind of world does this? Who does this?
So, obviously my flights of fancy about Rachel were wrong. But the thing is, this is also super melodramatic. It doesn't feel completely over the top, but it does feel like it is kind of out of nowhere. It doesn't seem to fit into the story of Chloe and Max. It feels more like there's another story being told, and it's getting in the way of the story of Chloe and Max. Now, it's possible to integrate these together. Chloe being devastated by the death of a friend is certainly an emotional heartbeat, an emotional beat that could be used in a lot of different ways. It's just, I don't think that it was used quite well enough. That said, it was a very well done scene, and I know that there are at least some people that cried to it. The music choice was especially good because it wasn't like wailing violins or anything. It was very, very carefully chosen.
Right to the cops. We have proof. Fuck the police. Rachel wanted us to find her, so we could get real justice and revenge. The Prescotts have had this coming for 100 years, and nobody is gonna get in my way. Especially with your help. Right?
The audio choices are really, really powerful in this part of the game. In particular, pay attention to how the club sounds like nothing more than an angry heartbeat. Now, if she does not have a gun at this stage, it does unfold a little bit, but, I mean, it does change a little bit, but it's still largely the same.
I can't tell if they're different.
What is that?
Can't be two moons.
Jesus, Chloe, look up at the sky.
Beautiful. I don't give a shit. The world is ending. Cool.
You're not listening. Something major is going down.
That's right. Nathan Prescott is going down.
So these conversations are very fragmented, but I feel that they fit in pretty well. We've built up the fact that Chloe is really upset, and that's absolutely fine. I think it works fine.
You look really good, Warren. Are you alright after today?
I'm glad you stopped me. Nathan is dangerous.
Where is he?
I didn't see him at the dorm again. I was held up in my room.
Dude, have you been drinking?
Well, if you consider half a beer drinking.
Let's go, Max.
I think that's very good, the way that they use that conversation specifically to show how emotional Chloe is with having Chloe not participating.
World, so I
Oh,
wanna
look,
have
another selfie.
something for prosperity.
Well, I don't blame you, Warren.
I wonder if this selfie is going to be a plot point,
Pain in the
since we've
booty.
already established
Just one
our new
picture.
power of jumping into selfies.
Action.
I would have loved to see this used a lot more,
no
but
time for this shit.
every time it is
Come
used,
on,
it
Max.
works well.
Sorry. I just wanted to feel like a normal student after this week's ultra-violence. I never hit anybody like that before. I was always the one getting my ass kicked.
Hey, we still need your expert help. If you see Nathan, text me immediately, okay? And do not let him see you.
So at this point, we're supposed to be thinking that Nathan is the biggest threat.
Not to me, Warren. Text soon.
He's the villain. He's running around hunting girls down and drugging them and taking pictures of them and then killing them. And obviously that is unforgivable. Let's go ahead and get into the party. We're not going to be able to finish it in this chapter. Well, you know what? It's been 17 minutes. Let's go ahead and start over in the next episode.